Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What up? This is Shan, and this is Cozy Womb Podcast. This is Ari. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, Anya.
Hi.
What up? What up? What up? This is Shan, and this is Cozy Womb Driving. The topic today is about the edges of parenting. And the edges of parenting consists of you just being at your limit as a parent, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And yesterday I was there like foursquare. Today I'm there a little bit, but it wasn't as bad as yesterday, because yesterday I wasn't seeing anything being a possibility as a sign of help. The edges of parenting, as a mother, I can only speak on being a mother because that's what I am. I can't speak on fathering. I can't speak on, a mother that is not mentally and emotionally attached. I can't speak on that. I'm always constantly thinking about my kids and thinking about how, I can better their lives, period. And then I think about myself. When it comes to that, being able to do everything I need to do sometimes sounds crazy because I'm only one person. And right now, I'm basically doing 2 jobs, juggling while having both of the girls with no help from their fathers at all. My family helps me. My friends helps me, but mentally it's exhausting because mentally I'm just like, dog, like, how can I duplicate myself? Like, how can I be more than one person? Like, is that possible for me to be more than one person? I know it's not possible, but that shit sounds like it would help. And one thing about being the best parent, you have to learn how to ask for help. As a mother, I've learned how to ask for help. When it was just me, I would starve. I would, sometimes when I remember in college when I would do overnights working at the Gap. In order for me to get there at the time that I was supposed to get there without asking somebody for a ride, I would go to the airport late at night. I would have my ex drop me off at the airport late at night and drop me off. And I would stay there until 5:30 when the first train would leave the airport and head into Buckhead and go to work. And then right down the street was my school. I would go to class. I would do 2 classes, which is about 6 hours. And I would go home. Sometimes to take a shower and come back out and do a shift. Like, that was me. But as a mother, I can't selfishly not ask for help. So, asking for help when you sincerely need it is a challenge. Especially from people you love, but people who work just as hard as you do. Some of them may not even have kids, but because they care about me and they care about the welfare of my kids, they help me, and I appreciate them. Sometimes it could be money that I need help to buy groceries, gas to drive the car, money for diapers, money for rent, money for like the girls' daycare. Like, that shit is very expensive. And when I ask for help, it's never about a want. I don't believe in you being a mother and you asking for help for wants. I don't ask for help for wants. I ask for help for needs, their needs, because my personal wants are not important when it comes to them needing me to do whatever they need me to do for them to get to point A and point B. Like, that's a non-factor. There's people out here just really driving stupid in this rain, and I'm just like, dog, how? But my gratitude comes to everybody who helps me, like, every time I think back on a moment where I was just like, dog, this is impossible. Like, this is not going to work. How do I make this work? I think back on those who, like, reached out and did things they didn't have to do. When it comes to faith, you know, faith sounds good. Like, it really sounds good. But faith doesn't put gas in my car to drive it. Faith doesn't pay my bills when they're due. Faith doesn't feed my children when they're hungry and they eat like men. Okay? Let's be serious. Faith doesn't, you know, come through on the first when my rent is due and I'm just like, dog, how? You know, it's me in the middle of the night. It's me early in the morning trying to think of a plan, trying to think if, hey, is it cheaper today for me to stay home with the girls, or should I take them to 2 separate sitters and figure out how to pay that shit next week? Like, that is my day-to-day life, on top of people wanting me to think about things at work. And I want you to think about doing this and going here. Like, that's a luxury. You know what I'm saying? To get out of the mind frame of a mother. It's a luxury. I can't do it. I've never been able to do it. Not since I pushed them out. Needing affection, like right now, I understand why, as a child, my mother randomly throughout the day made sure that she told us that she loved us. Randomly would hug us. I understand why she did those things, because I don't look for affection from a man in order to make me feel like fulfilled in any way. I look for that affection from my kids, because kids will always reciprocate the love you give them. Always. You know, hugging your kids more and telling them you love them so you can hear them say it back as a reminder of why you're pushing. That helps me. When you want to quit, that's your reminder. Sometimes I have to sleep a little closer as a mother and touch my kids' hands as they're sleeping to remind me, hey, they're comfortable, they're warm, you know, they're sleeping, they're breathing, and that's because I'm pushing. You know, I push so I can't, you know, forget what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Even when I can't see a way, I push. When things I don't know how they're going to get paid or stay on, I push. I figure it out. Like, I know, like, bills are going to be there, but it's kind of like when you're doing everything you can do in 24 hours and you are real life dry drowning out here. Hello? Dry drowning as in dry drowning in bills is real. That's real. And I hate that whole process of, yes, you're working, but it's not getting you anywhere. Like, that shit sucks. But that is, like, my life for right now. Like, I'm not getting any help from the ones who should be helping me, which is their fathers. And I just don't understand how you mentally can disattach the fact that you don't have your child every day. You don't know if they're being taken care of. You don't ask. You don't care. You just absent-minded of the fact, and you're comfortable. Like, that shit blows my mind. As far as, like, work life, like I said, sometimes it's easier to and cheaper for me to stay home with them. Not because I don't want to go to work, but because the work sometimes that I may be doing in the day will not pay for them being at a day of daycare. So it doesn't make any sense. It's like, if I go to work, I'm putting myself in more of a hole. We always see on the news and in headlines about how a mother leaves her kids at home. How a mother takes kids to work secretly to be able to work. How a mother can do this type of job when she has kids. Like, if you're not a mother and you've never been in a position where you have to do everything yourself, do not judge him, like, or her. Like, if you're not a single parent, do not judge him or her. Like, you don't know. Like, when your child has needs and your child did not ask to be here, it's up to you to fulfill that. Your child doesn't understand, like, how you don't have it or you can't. Like, you have to be able to provide for your kids. To provide as a mother, you feel worry, you feel pressure to make a way. Like, when people get to those limits, like, I would never leave my kids in the car. Would never leave my kids at home. Like, I'm just saying, as a mother right now, I kind of understand the mind frame of some people on why they do the things that they do. But you have to be responsible too at the end of the day. Leaving your children at home is not the answer, but some parents feel like at some point in their life that was, and that's why that happens. Not everyone makes a responsible choice, but as a mom raising kids, we have to figure it out. When kids are with us, solely with us, 98% of the time, if they're not at daycare or they're not with a parent for 2 days, like, they're with us. We have to figure out what to do with them when we have to work. We have to figure that out. Like, that's our job. As a couple, I don't care what you say. If you're living with your child's father, if y'all are in a relationship and y'all have a kid, you are way ahead of the game when it comes to any single parent, period. Because you have two people to bounce ideas off. I've never experienced being in a relationship after having any of my children with their fathers purposely, or their fathers ever living with me purposely. But I'm sure couples have their struggles too, but it's never as bad as when it comes to being a single parent, because you have nobody there to bounce ideas off. You have nobody to be like, physically, can you stay here at the house with the kids so I can work, so we don't have to put out more money for a sitter, and I'll be back at this time, and then when I get back at this time, you go ahead and you go to work. Like, that's teamwork. I don't have no room for teamwork because there's nobody when it comes to their fathers on my team. There's nobody when it comes to being in a relationship physically at my house, like, on my team when it comes to my kids. Like, I have to figure it out. And I'm sure as couples, there's early mornings and late nights that are filled with, why didn't you put gas in the car last night? Why didn't you tell me, like, this was due? Why didn't you pay out this bill? How are we going to pay for such and such daycare? Like, right now, I have to pay my 4-year-old's school tuition that was due yesterday, and they're allowing me to pay it Thursday with the fee. So now, I'm not only late, but I'm paying more than what I'm supposed to pay with the fee because I'm late. So now I'm in a hole again. So today, my goal is to go to work and then work my second job long enough to pay that extra fee. Like, I don't know. You have to, like, you have decisions as a parent. You have a decision to sit there and dwell on what's not going right, or you can chuckle like I do and do whatever you do to fix it. And the things that I do to fix the shitty things in my life is I hustle. Like, I work that 24 hours of the day like nobody's business. Like, you ain't never gonna find me needing something where I'm on pause for it. Never. Like, I'm always figuring out a way, even when somebody's helping. Like, you're crazy. Like, the ability to discuss a plan to help another human being be able to eat, comfortably sleep, have clothes on their back. Like, as a parent, that's what you're supposed to do. that's what's supposed to happen. You know, I don't understand the mind frame of any parent who has a biological child out here who doesn't know the last time that they ate, who doesn't know if they have clean clothes, warm clothes, who doesn't know if they're happy, who doesn't care to find out if they're happy. None of that. Like, how can you wake up and clothe yourself and feed yourself and go about your day not knowing if your child is okay? Like, you wake up and you assume that every day? Like, that blows my mind. It blows my mind. Like, you know what I would do to be able to trust somebody, love somebody, and feel like that person respects me enough to be like, hey, can you stay here while I go work and watch the kids? What? But today it's kind of hard to find that person, trust that person, have that person to be able to do that. You know, as a single parent, having the kids the most, like, that is emotionally, mentally, physically draining, but it's the greatest love experience I've ever had in my life. From the alarm reminders of you being it all the time, every day. Like, I have a reminder in my phone to, hey, you're not going to work today. You know, Ari has an appointment. You're not going to work today. Anya has an appointment. Push this bill back. That's the alarm. Take Anya to school first. Drop Ari off. Pick up Ari first. Pick up Anya. It's like, not everybody is built to be a mother, okay? It's not for everybody. Just like I don't feel like everybody is created to go to college and successfully, like, complete it with a degree. Like, college is not for everybody. Like, it takes mind juggling in order to do that. Every day I start a race and finish the race by the power within me to make the right decision. That is what being a good mother is. Like, and I'm not going to be comfortable not being able to provide for my children, and that's what I have to do. But everything that I'm talking about is what the edges of parenting is. Because every day you want to be better. Every day you want to be able. Like, there's no part of me that is backing down from this challenge of being a good mother. And, you know, yesterday, the only way I got to work and able to drop the girls off was by me asking a friend to cash at me some green. That's it. And not only did they cash at me some green, but it was double of what I asked for. There is no way that I could be a great mother without the people who are my family, period. It's those little things that help me be able to help myself, be able to help them. So if you are a single parent like me, whether you're a man or a woman, and you feel stuck, you feel like you're drowning every day, get some good people in your circle. You know what I'm saying? Get some good people who really care about you being your greatest. Really care about your kids having what they need. That's the only way it's going to work. You cannot back down from the challenge of being your greatest as a parent, because that's a disservice to your kids. And if there are any males out here or females, because there are some shitty mothers out here that do not do for their kids and don't care to drop off a kid with a grandparent and not help. Don't care to drop off a kid with the father and not help and not care and not call. When you're old and you need help, when you're old and you're looking around at grown children and their parents and your kid is not around you, remember all those mornings and all those nights where you were comfortable not knowing that your kid was okay. You were comfortable not knowing that your kid was able to eat. You were comfortable not knowing if your kid was properly taken care of because you're selfish. But just remember those things. The edges of parenting, that's a real thing. That is a real thing. And the only thing that keeps me going is my determination, the good family and friends around me, and my ability. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about, y'all. It's just a drive-in. It is another shitty, wet, cold day. Man, everything could be worse. My car is running. I have gas in it. The only reason why I have half of a banana today is because Ari didn't want to eat the whole thing. Other than that, I probably want to have breakfast. But it's cool. I'm going. I'm moving. Just make it work, people. Make it work. It's not going to work just by praying. You can't pray bills away. Trust me, I've tried. Make it work. Move your feet. Move your hands. You might have to get rid of something that you really love. But look at your kids. Look at your kids. Look at your child. Remember why you do it. Period. All right. I'm out. Deuces.
Good night, good night, good night, good night.